All right, what's good, everybody? So, can everybody hear okay? Just give me 1 second here, just fixing my technical. Here we go. Okay. Hey Jen, how's it going? What's good? Looking beautiful. Alright, so here's what you guys can contemplate while I chat. Is just starting to list things that have helped your health. What has helped your health? So I'll start. So I'm gonna start this talk about cognitive sovereignty with that. Basically, what has helped my health the most right now is a digital detox. So just being real aware of what I'm taking in digitally, because I work in I do this obviously, and then also in a simulated environment, a remote environment, and you would be so surprised. It can affect your energy body more than a physical environment. And so I just became very aware of this, and I think it's the Kriya that we're doing, it's the depth of the content that we're in, and just the growth that Kundalini brings, the growth that just being in this type of environment together brings. So the digital detox, the stacking of nootropics in the morning, magnesium, animal protein, spring water with chlorophyll, obviously the Kriya, castor oil, mushroom coffee, microdosing every 4 days, pure cannabis, not any sort of derivative. I've just been doing pure cannabis, shea butter, clary sage essential oil, some milk thistle, yellow dock, and dandelion root. And that's pretty much it. So that's my health, but I want to know what y'all are doing. You could put it in the chat, or while I'm talking, you can think about it, and we can open that up. So anyways, welcome y'all. I just wanted to start this with a very rich transmission, hopefully for you all, that I am calling cognitive sovereignty. And this is something that I meditated upon today. And essentially, I'm so inspired by Mona's messaging. When I am on digital, I'm always just liking Mona's stuff or whoever's posting Jen's stuff. But I love the revolution framework. I think that that's a beautiful word. The disruption of what is in this society, and that's what Tantra really teaches us. But also, I think in the same breath, it also teaches a renaissance, a reawakening. And so with the disruption, we're also sussing out what we need to remember from the way that our ancestors did, our lineage, the different lineages that we're intaking right now, and that we're doing morning. I was a party. You guys all know me. I was a partier. So, waking up hungover and whatnot, that is not a ritual that you want to take into the new world. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever been there, especially now when we're getting up in age, that shit stacks. Just like how our nootropics and all of the supplements we take and our grounding outside, we're stacking those, optimizing our cognitive stack. It's that was compounding in the other way. And I think this whole training, this particular round, has brought me back to just the temple of true connection, a true temple of conversation, as opposed to comment section where it's literally distracting, and it just seems so orchestrated on these social platforms where there's no real connection. So I've appreciated this space for the real connection, seeing you thrive as a teacher, and also that we're in the middle of an information storm, the end of the Kali Yuga. I mean, I'd be rambling about this all the time, but in this soul speeding era, we're actually becoming still. And what that does for us, just collectively, from a metaphysical standpoint, is it's creating the revolution. It's creating a renaissance. It's creating a rebellion, an awakening. And I don't know if I just had a lot of stuff in my coffee today, like my lion's mane and the different adaptogens, but a lot of what I'm learning from this is that even in 2 hours of focused yogic time together, this far exceeds any kind of focus on media-driven narratives that I'm typically used to, like consuming. Meaning like just shit that people talk about, like for example, the media narrative that liquor is masculinity, or that gossiping is bonding. That's how it is in the Filipino culture. Like my mom was just here and she's like the queen of chismis, you know, and I'm like, why is she talking her shit again? Like this woman is like so accomplished, so awesome, has gotten everything in life, really made it far from the squatters in the Philippines, and you know, really made a great life for herself, and here we are again. And I think it isn't to be low vibrational, that's not her intention, but it's like this renaissance of remembering the connection, and that I wish she would fuck with all this, but the metaphysics of consciousness is what I'm talking about. Like, so when we get into the earth ley lines, you know, all that kind of stuff that I'm really into, it's essentially what it is the original source code. And so I don't know, I don't want to get too like technical with it, but basically like when we do all of this stacking, when we do the sadhana, we stack it with the breath work, the kriya, all of the healthy stuff you're taking in, all of the awareness you're taking in, even if this is your only time that you're doing it with us together, basically what's happening is that it causes an interface transition. You can shift your dimensional framework, your perception of time and space. That becomes embodiment, that becomes identity. And so because when you're increasing your electrical conductivity in your brain with all of the stuff we do in this class, that's the sustenance that the earth is using to awaken that within you. So Jen had a great example. She was like, yeah, my son had a dream about Agartha, or I forget what words you used, but you were like, yeah, he like went into the inner earth and was like, what the fuck, mom, like it's here. And that's, I know you kind of were like playing it off like, what is he talking about? Does he know something that I don't know? But he's like hella connected, like you. And then the next day, I think, or a couple days after, he was on the earth making some kind of star seed shape or something in the sand. And you were like, yeah, you know, he's like grounding, and he's like, he's getting it in when I'm on doing my thing as a mom. And it's like, that is the purity of like a younger soul, starseed, I don't know what else you want to call it, like just a young person, a young soul, is that their time isn't like measured by the same shit that we are measuring. Like it's just measured by consciousness. And then that, where you're at, the Jupiter, first of all, it's called Jupiter, so I mean that should tell you everything you need to know, but like basically that's a very special ley line. You know how I feel about Florida being Atlantis. That's the third point of the Bermuda Triangle. There's just a lot of energy there. And so I don't doubt for a second that he's tapping into something. But even Sintishe, who's in the DC area that's shaped like a pentagram, you know, me and Mona being in the pineal gland of St. Pete, like the Tampa Bay area, Detroit, which is actually where Miracle is in Michigan right now, which is really strange. But anyway, well, not strange, but it's just very synchronistic. So where am I going with this? Like basically that we are doing frequency hacking, and it's not necessarily thinking faster in speed, but it's actually in coherence. And what I realized was that I know that I seem really like very wide-eyed right now, but I had a revelation where I was like, I'm the glitch in this consensus fucking fake matrix that I'm sitting in right now. This false grid around me is starting to lose its grip, but I'm the only one that feels relatively calm in my center. the only one on this team that hasn't taken a medical leave for going mental. And I'm just like, my thoughts don't even feel linear. Like, I'm not even in this meeting right now. I thought we're all supposed to be loving yoga and fitness, and nobody's actually fit, right? So I'm sitting in this other reality. And then they were like, you know, we would like actually your input, Leah. Like, what would you do in this situation? It's like, this is the first time that anybody has ever not drained my cognition before asking for my contribution, in other words. Like, so the point of what I'm saying is that when your mind operates at that gamma state and you're no longer syncing with the high frequency of the collective ego field, you begin to broadcast a very different algorithm. I don't know what else to fucking call it, but like, you start refusing limitations. Alignment, exactly. You start bypassing the laws of karmic loops. That shit that, you know, for the past 6 years in the yoga studio that I had, all we did was sit at the bolster and cry and do these trauma bonding experiences. And it's like, I mean, I loved it for a long time there, but it's almost like, all right, guys, you know, now we've got to author our own code. Like, we need to stop this karmic loop and this pattern. And that's what we're talking about. Tantra's yogis talk about the moment of siddhi, which is where the practitioner becomes more than an observer. You become a node, you become a meridian channel, you become a fucking vortex of divine intelligence. And you can start sort of bending the will. That's so like Aleister Crowley type of talk, but this illusion that's here becomes more malleable because you're not actually in this frequency that is not coherent. You know, all the things on the world stage are there for us to look at and fixate on. So the less that, like, because I was like really fixated. I'm like in this Diddy trial, like, what? He did what? I love this man for like 10 years. And I'm like, oh my God. And I got like so into it, like, this is crazy. But then at the same time, I'm like, they are laying out the exact path of what not to do. Like the left-hand path where you could take literally the same principles, which is, I don't know if we really want to go here with that example, but I believe that everybody on this planet, I don't even know if he's human, but I'm talking about humans want to have a more coherent frequency. Like there's that desire within, which is what we talk about in Tantra, is the desire to integrate with that frequency so that the reality becomes porous and we're like one with it, and we stop becoming a user of the interface and we become a living embodiment of an update. I don't know. I'm in knee deep in a system migration right now from a yogic standpoint, so it's like real, these words are like real weird. So hopefully y'all are still with me here, but basically we're reweaving rituals. You know, we are, I used to drink so that I don't remember things, you know what I mean? And so now we're really in a place where it's like memory is what we have to keep our memory intact so that our synapses are lit, so that we can actually be coherent in the timeline of what's going on and keep track of it. You know, I think food as fuel is really a number one concept in this training that I feel that I need to emphasize at this point, because, you know, there is a section of Ayurveda where we talk about that, but I feel like I haven't focused on that a lot. And also time as a relationship as opposed to like a commodity or a currency. So what I realized in this meeting today was that like the mental health of who you are is really feeding your brain health, like, and that thinking takes actually more energy than automatic scrolling of what this guy was doing in this meeting, where he was like feeding us this information, but like I don't know what actually was being said. And every time I would interrupt it and ask a question, there was no brain fuel because he had a large lunch of probably fried food. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like probably foods that weren't feeding his soul. And that's why I was like, I took a step back and I was like, yo, sadhana is like so important, because that could have been me, you know, today, just automating through my day. But because we do sadhana, well, we're about to as well, too, together, it helps us optimize our cognitive stack. So whether it's the Kriya, I'm very excited to know what you guys do. You know, we basically in this time, need to think very clearly and increase our capacity because where we're going, we need every ounce of cognition. So I'm just going to pause and read y'all a comment here. But so where I was going with that is that time is not money. Time, yeah, circadian biology. Okay, sunrise, grounding, decreasing EMF, blue light. Decreasing EMF, blue light. That's interesting. Diet of simple single ingredients. Wow, that's very intense. And the nervous system awareness, and then synthesis, that alignment. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, so basically time dilation is what we're talking about, because that's what that, all those things are going to lead you to that, of the, I don't know, how do I wrap this up? Like basically like, I should have written notes, but what up, Phoenix? Yeah, it's great to see you. Oh, Psyche, or because you're on psychedelic, should we call you that, or should we call you Phoenix? Okay. I wasn't sure. Well, I just went off about some shit, so you can watch that recording. But today's meeting is about cognitive sovereignty, and I'm at the part about Jen was typing about basically the DNA of each of our lineages holds stories where we are adapting to what the existing environment is, this exact moment. This is chaos, like right now, especially Gemini season. I just feel like Gemini season is always chaos, but we're being drained by design, you know. Well, this is just a microcosm of what I've seen in this fake matrix to the applied to the macrocosm of that. We're at a point where we have to know what to destroy and what to build. That your ritual in the morning or at night or whenever you have them is like so much more far important than like learning the theory of this shit, being able to teach a good class. Like, because if you don't know what is actually eating at your energy body, and you're not like stacking good habits, that's when you can feel very drained. And so in the final one, well, I don't know if it's final, but in the upcoming modules, we talk about reawakening the ley lines on Earth. And that basically your ritual, the sustenance of those electrical conducted neurons in your brain are what the Earth is feeding off of. So like that Schumann resonance, that's actually Earth responding to humans on the surface and probably inner Earth too. Heart opening, our heart literally like opening. So let's see. So yeah, so that's what we're talking about tonight, is basically where rhythm returns, consciousness, where our cognition, our actual mental and brain health, and our frequency, and like basically what all that means. So what we're talking about here, Phoenix, is like your health. What do you do for your health? Like I basically, like just like how Jen did in the chat, I don't know if you can see hers, she just like listed things. So for example, one of mine, I put digital detox, magnesium, animal protein, spring water with chlorophyll, castor oil. Is basically like my health regimen. What's good, y'all? You guys have health you guys healthy? You guys doing things for your health? Moto, what's your health stack? What?
Juicing is my religion.
Juice.
Prayer, daily prayer. My supplements, my favorite supplements right now are all, as always, black seed oil, oregano oil. Um, I'm doing some milk thistle as well, and I like magnesium, echinacea, and sea moss, baby, with the burdock root and the elderberry, and
Wow, that's a
sweating.
lot.
I mean,
Wow. What is
the
black
hand.
seed oil? What does that do? Black seed?
Black seed oil is good for everything. I mean, you ingest it. It's good for all of your organs. It's good for your lymph. Flaxseed, good for membrane. Yeah, ask Doc, she knows.
Okay, I'm gonna take that now. I don't
So
think
it's delicious.
I've ever done that one.
Yeah, try it out.
Do you do the oil? Like I do the oil, like it's really good. It's like a yellow oil, the black seed oil. maybe. I'm
What do
not.
you just swallow it? You just take the oil? Oh my God, yeah,
Yeah, I've
I
been at
gag.
this. I think I told you at the same time I'm taking this, I'm taking like a long mitochondrial medicine
Yes,
class,
mitochondrial.
and
That's interesting.
she's big on like phospholipid replacement therapy because of the EMF and the blue light kind of breaks up your cell membranes. We're not really eating proper, like we just have so much going on with stress and everything, and that black seed is one of the things that helps like repair the mitochondrial membrane.
Okay, I got to get on that. I had no idea it went that deep with the black seed oil.
Yeah.
This is why I asked this question, because y'all like do stuff way different than what you know what I mean? Like I've just been on that same thing for years. Journal almost daily, walk in the AM. Yeah, walking is so huge. When I can, at least 3 times a week, meditate. Magnesium is that citrate. Magnesium citrate. I think I'm not taking magnesium citrate. I think I'm taking magnesium calcite, I want to say.
There's a bunch of different types of magnesium. Citrate is good for like bone health, hair health, teeth, oral health.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Tea every morning, movement every day, and reading. Yes. Well, I know you're not a Western astrology syncretist gal, but Libra being library, being the library of information. Castor oil. Okay. Y'all, like, I can't even do the oil pull without gagging every morning. The swishing of the coconut oil, that's supposed to taste good.
How do you take your black seed oil? Do you just do like droppers? How do you do that?
I just do a teaspoon in between lunch and dinner.
A teaspoon is maybe.
These are soft gels, so
Morning
you
and
don't
night.
have
But I love that Mona does the capsules. I'll try those. I'm so glad you do that. I thought I was afraid to try them because I weren't sure if they worked.
So
Look at you.
the course that I'm taking, she doesn't like us to do capsules of anything, which is I still do capsules, but I guess the gelatin that a lot of capsules has a lot of deuterium in it, which can like block what the black seed is trying to do. The black seed trying to go onto the cell membrane and like patch it up, but the deuterium in the gelatin of a capsule
Oh.
blocks that because it has like extra hydrogen, so it fits in the same spot and blocks like what the black seed's trying to do. So
They have the veggie vegan tablets at the health food store that you can fill yourself, the capsules.
yeah,
So if they're vegan vegetarian, you think you could take a Doppler and then put it in?
well, I don't know because deuterium's even in water. So
Okay,
like
well, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
so you want to like that's like one thing you definitely want to like know everything you're taking and like what the deuterium it's like this whole thing. I mean, honestly, you would go crazy. But
No, thank you for sharing that. That's helpful. Thank you for sharing.
So basically, just take it straight up like a shot.
Take it to the head.
Yeah, like the best way to do it. Magnesium citrate.
shit trade. We call it magnesium shit trade because it makes you shit. Like you just like if you ever are backed up, you just take a whole shit ton of magnesium citrate, and honestly, within like 30 minutes, you will be shitting your brains out. Like that's what
So
they
you.
give you before. That's what they give you before a colonoscopy. Magnesium
Oh,
citrate.
okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But maybe that's good. Maybe it'll help
No, it is
bloating.
good. I take it every night. I'm like overdosing.
Every night. Oh my God. That's how you're staying so fit. Castor oil packs. I like those a lot. I really feel the castor oil thing. That was since I had my Aiden. Used to use all that. So wow, so you guys are really in touch with your it's like you put the castor oil, like a lot of it, and then put this like I use like a cloth. It's like a cloth heat pad, and you just wrap it around your belly. But you're supposed to put the castor oil in your belly button because it like kills parasites. Like it absorbs through the skin and the visceral adipose tissue, and it like soaks into the gut and kills the parasites. I was telling you, I was on that parasite tip for a minute. Like, it does everything cause does everybody thinks that everybody has parasites, and it's like, how are we going to be parasite free? We would just have to not eat. Well, actually, that's part of what we're learning today is like the fasting. You don't have hypoglycemia. So the Kriya is really helpful for, so I had lymphoma. So all this stuff that I'm presenting is from just years of learning how to heal myself. This is not something, I think like Barbara O'Neill might talk about this. She's like an OG, you know, naturopath, but, and like obviously the yogis. So it comes from the yogic lineage. But I haven't really seen too many other modalities really be doing something that's lymph specific. So there was a gal that I used to work with in Detroit named Lymph Nymph. That's her brand, is the Lymph Nymph. And we would do this Kriya we're about to do tonight with the microcurrent rods that she would use on the body. So it generated a low grade frequency that allowed the fluid within your lymph system to move. But I mean, honestly, like a sound bath could do that. Your own humming could do that. You just like moving your body can do that. So say more about the lymph.
The castor oil and frankincense.
Oh, that would be Jen.
Oh yeah, like so when you're doing your castor oil pack, if you have like, so castor oil and frankincense is one for like cancer prevention or if you're in cancer treatment, but you can use all kinds of different types of other oils with the castor oil. Like frankincense is, like she said, also for parasites, but also castor oil is too. So you mix it together on a Q-tip. Sorry, I said a tip. And then you put that in the belly button because the nerve endings are so dense. Like in your belly button, it will go straight in. And so you put that, it doesn't have to go through the like hepatic bypass of when you swallow something, it's going right in your belly button. And then you wrap the castor. So if you just put on Amazon like castor oil pack, you'll see what she's talking about, that piece of fabric. And I have one that has like buttons and elastic. So you just like put the button around and it stays on you. But you can, like, whatever type of essential oil like you need, you just can put it, mix it with the castor oil and stick it right in your belly button and then put the thing around. I usually rub the whole area, but yeah.
Wow.
Thank you so much for sharing. Awesome. Thank you. And oh my goodness, Mona's over here. Look at, oh, we got amazing.
Is that the castor oil pack?
This is the pack. I'm putting it on now since you guys inspired me, but I just put like a bunch of castor oil. And then like Jen said, put it in your belly button. And then I drizzled it onto here too. So I'm like packed.
Oh, you put it on the cloth. Okay.
I put it on both and I massage it into my body and then you tie on the pack. And I'm going to leave it there for a few hours. You can see, you can tie it on and then it goes into your organs. Yeah.
And so what does the castor oil help with? Because I've heard there's like so many different uses for it. Like I've also heard that like if you massage it on your breast, that also helps to like firm and like tighten. Get around that. You know, I'm the secretary of the Tiny Titty Committee, so I don't know.
But, you have curves.
Yeah, from the lower half, but you know, secretary. So like, yeah, what's the doing this? Like, does it have like digestion or like? I know that not like organ prolapse, but like or like which I know I like the big wall like collapsing.
Sorry, Phoenix. I think we lost audio there.
You cut out a little bit, Phoenix, but
Oh,
Jen can answer what the castor oil is good for. Everything.
It's like great for your
Like
organs.
if you told me like you could have one natural product on a desert island, only one, that's why you could drink it, you could put it on your skin. Like
Oh.
yeah, like if you don't want to do Botox, put that shit on your skin. Like don't
Put it on
ever
your face, go to
start
bed.
today and don't ever stop. Like I have the rollers, I do it around my eyes, I do it on my lips, I do it every square inch of my body, my nails, like on your nails, toenails, feet. But the liver, like the castor oil packs, is traditionally for your liver, like a liver cleanse. People do it like every day for 31 days. If you have bad PMS, bad cramps, can actually help. Like if you have extra estrogen, so it kind of helps the liver detoxify the estrogen, or even soak up some of the extra estrogen.
Oh, wow.
Stomach issues, like if you're constipated, you drink it. A lot of people do the castor oil detox not as a pack, but as a like orally. And then also people with cancer. So the frankincense, like in the cancer treatment, natural, like a lot of people use frankincense. And so some people put it on their belly button. Some people put it on the roof of their mouth. So they'll take the castor oil, put like 2 drops of the frankincense, and then hold it and let it go through the, because, you know, like we always talked about the tongue on the roof of the mouth, that spot right there that goes like right into the brain stem. So you want to put the medicine in places. So, and I think that's what Kundalini taps into, like the roof of the mouth, the belly button. Like these are direct access points into the body. So you could put the castor oil there if you're having like liver, even if you're like drank too much, ate things you shouldn't, you just want to help your liver out, the castor oil, roof of the mouth, belly button, or pack around the body, or just anywhere that you want. People do it in their hair, eyebrows, like instead of Latisse or those eyebrow growth serum things, like eyelashes, eyebrows. It's the like just buy some, trust me, like it's the best.
It is the best. I do agree with that.
is there a brand that you like? Because I know that also like not all oils, like not all of it is made equal. Like some castor oil is not as good as others. Just like some black seed oil or like some, you know, like vitamin E oil. Not all of them are great.
I think me and Mona are using the same one. It looks the same. This is just what I've had since forever. It's just called Handcraft Blend. I'll send you a pic. But I got started with that stuff with my first pregnancy back in the day, and my mom told me it would be really good to relieve the Braxton Hicks and like help the baby come out. So that's how I kind of got into it. And I don't know, I get you guys know a lot more, it appears. And I'm glad I'm doing all that shit. I had no idea I was even doing it like that.
This says don't ingest, but I just swallowed some. I put it on my third eye.
Okay.
Put it on the roof of my mouth, like Jen said, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll be on the lookout for you. Why does it say don't ingest? That's what you're supposed to do with that stuff.
They all say that. You just
No,
ignore it.
yeah, but the one some at the health food store they do say they say don't ingest. It just depends on the brand that you get. This one I have said doesn't, but the one I have at the office says I can ingest it and it has a Doppler. So it just depends on the one you get. Like this one is Jamaican castor oil, but I wouldn't
That's
ingest.
good. I think those ones are more for like topical. Yeah, because they might use a different kind of hexane to purify it.
Yeah,
Like,
it just depends on how they cut the oil, but
right.
you know, but they do have both. They do have both. I would go for 100% and just look at the active ingredient. Like if it just the label says castor oil, 100% castor oil is kind of in there, but you know, it won't kill you. They just don't recommend that you take it from that bottle. And
Right.
I kind of feel like if you made the label and you tell me not to do, I'm gonna believe you. But you can find a label that you can adjust it. I love you, Jen, your wisdom. But if they tell me not to do it, sis, I'm not doing it. You are a brave, badass bitch.
You're so funny. Yeah, I don't know.
But
I
I look
guess
her
like I
face,
wouldn't
like, come
even
on, look at her
check.
face. Look at her face. That's my problem. She's not following the rules. And look at her face. Her skin is just glowing. Oh my God.
Right.
Amazing.
So, okay, well,
Good.
you
This is
guys are
good.
really in touch with this stuff. That's really great.
Thank you. This was
What
great.
else
Thank
you
you.
guys got in your magic bag? What's keeping you healthy? Because I'm all about you got to do what's right for you. If the cat, I think castor oil is like coconut oil. It's sort of a universal. It's just worked for everything for me too. So anyway, what we're talking about is aligning yoga with the earth's rhythms. And I think like obviously you guys know that the ancients live in harmony with the earth. They obviously lived in harmony with the stars, and their own bodies. And I think that at the advent of the 9 to 5 workday, that's when we became more rigid. We became more solar, industrial, sort of this polarized masculine productivity, like the sun's arc linear time. And then what that did was that ignored the cyclical intelligence of the feminine, like the lunar calendar, which is what the yogis really follow, and the tides, the seasons of the earth, things like that. So another question would be just to ask yourself during this kriya is like, what time of the day do you feel good? What if we lived aligned? What if you design your life where it was very harmonious with how you feel? That took me a number of years to be able to feel energized for more than 2 hours a day. So in the module, hang on, let me go ahead and pull up that screen. The module basically has the body clock, which I'm sure you guys are very familiar with at this point. Does anyone have questions about the meridians or the vortex or any of that stuff? Okay, here's where we're at. So, whoops, my screen is not very big there. This is that clock that we're talking about. And we're just talking about living in harmony with this. So if you're awake at a certain time every morning or whatever, it could indicate that you have an imbalance or actually are balanced in a certain organ. So there's the concept of the zeitgebers, which are time givers. So things like sunlight, things like very pure foods and movement, and how our rhythms affect energy and mood and digestion and focus. So in the other asynchronous content, it's very basic. It's talking about key hormone cycles. And this is the one thing, do you guys consume caffeine? It's like I consume caffeine, but basically the one thing about the caffeine is that it's the really good pure coffee, which is what my dad drinks. Like he drinks this really, really good stuff. I can't say that we do in our household, but like my dad has this really, really good coffee from Hawaii where my sister lives. And that coffee only stays in your system for a certain number of hours. Like there's like half-lives to it. And so the reason you want to be drinking it in the morning is because it's so that it doesn't mess with your melatonin. Like if you're drinking it throughout the afternoon, like some of the folks that I actually like work with, it can really affect your cortisol levels. I'm sure you guys know this, but this is part of living in harmony with our nature and being able to apply it to the way that we teach yoga. So in the module, I basically have this Sacred Rhythms handout. Let's open it. Let's see what this is. Okay, yeah. So this is all about the hormones. So this is it's very short, but it's talking about when certain meridian lines are active and when our organs are active. And so, you know, you might already kind of know this stuff intrinsically, but I guess I'm just laying it out here just so that we have an anchor for it, which is that, like, when you're teaching your classes, consider the different phases of the body clock. So, like, because when I had a studio, we were teaching booty like 3 times a day, and that is not a natural. You definitely like can burn out doing that, especially like with the cardio sequences and that. People who teach aerobics all day, for example, you know, with yoga, it's a little bit different. So, like in the morning, we're doing more of a stoking of the fire, as opposed to midday where we have more of an intent of focus and productivity. And then in the evening, like during our sessions, a lot of it is to unwind. I'm not really getting us really like super revved up to have an awesome workout, because I'm guessing most of us are going to go to bed, but that's okay if you don't. You know, some of us are nocturnal. So you want to ask yourself during this Kriya of what time of the day do you feel most disconnected from your body's rhythm? And sorry, I forgot where I was at on this. Oh yeah, what is one shift that could help realign your day with your internal clock? And then what is one rhythm aligned habit you're inspired to try? So we'd be doing really 4 Kriyas in one in this video, but I'll talk through it.
I think this is interesting. Just to jump in really quick, like naturally, I usually wake up between like 7 and 8, so which is about like the large intestine, the stomach area. But
Uh-huh.
every morning without fail, my cat wakes me up. Like when I'm not traveling and I'm home, my cat wakes me up between 4:15 and 5 a.m., which I'm seeing is like about like the like where the lungs are. So if there is like a disruption in our sleep, let's say, or like a disruption somewhere, then would you say that there could be like a disruption in that area of the body?
Yeah, either that, like, because when it's balanced, it's just you're operating at like it's all humming. The whole idea is to feel whole. So, like, for example, after I gave birth to my second daughter who passed away, I was up like at that the lung meridian every morning for like years. So to this day, until I actually like dealt with the feelings associated with that, was I able to sleep through that, or at least go back to sleep. That would be something that, you know, if you're awake, like, and that's not, and you went to bed late at like 11 or something, or, you know, midnight, I need a solid 12 hours. I need a lot of sleep to have a lot of energy. So that's really what the intent of this Kriya is for, is so that you're prepared, you're like getting in touch with the systems that, I don't know, are like not as cognitive. Like I feel like our breathing system, our respiratory system, like we're very, you know, in this class anyway, like pretty aware of. But the lymph system is harder to be aware of because it doesn't move on its own. It's like sort of silent, you know. And the glands are a little bit more hidden if you're not fully attuned to them. So this is a very helpful one for this. I just think that this is very important to scale it back and just to, like, before we talk about movement or the CSF or yantra, you know, any of the other like movement based things in Kundalini, the overall harmony of the way that the ancients lived, because like, gosh, they just had documentation of everything. Like I just am so, I'm sort of floored by some of the stuff that I'm learning through this, just sort of like putting it together and then realizing that these folks knew about this for like so long, and it's just amazing to me. And it's also cross-cultural. Like there was times where they actually had an exchange of information, probably through the wars, but mainly like an exchange of information. Like you'll see so much crossover of the temples of the Dendara. And I don't know, are any of you into the Tartarian stuff at all? Like the stone cities. Okay, so I'm like really into the Tartarian thing with those flat Earth guys that live in their mom's basement typing away. But like basically the concept is that all of the cities, there's like 15 cities named Lebanon in the United States. And it was so weird today because I talked to, or was it yesterday? I talked to 4 people who were all living in a different state, but the same city of Lebanon. And I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And I wrote it down. But so it indicates the Moorish Empire existence prior to the natives, which, well, I guess they are the natives. And then also the parallel lines. The stone structures, all like Detroit, for example. DC has it, like Seattle, San Diego. Atlanta's motif is the phoenix on the 33rd parallel, and if you follow that 33rd parallel, it goes to Phoenix, Arizona, which they're like 3 hours away technically because Arizona doesn't do the time change. Things like that, where it's like as the earth shifts, it's going to reveal more of what we're actually sitting on, what our cities are actually sitting on, and what's in the earth. I think your son is onto something. I am one of those inner earth, flat earth people where I'm like, yeah, there's definitely a honeycomb. Well, actually, we talk about that in this training about the lokas and how they're set up like a honeycomb. Our universe is essentially set up like a honeycomb, moving into the center of the universe. Yeah, he knows about inner earth. So, anywho, and that's really what the ley lines are all about, is like our body being in touch with the earth, and then when we go to these places and feel the energy, you'll start to be more attuned to it. Like you'll totally notice different things, especially in Florida. Like I think especially in Florida, especially in places near water. Michigan has so much. I think it's just not awakened. It's not awakened in the same way, but they have a lot of the preserved stuff because of the ice glaciers. It's icy there. And then also Lake Michigan is basically like another Bermuda Triangle where stuff went underwater, and there's like literally cities under Lake Michigan. It's wild. So I sort of see that as the third Bermuda Triangle, and then the second one would be like Colorado area. Like that area has a lot of UFO activity or whatever. So anywho, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to stick to the earth for now and our cognitive sovereignty. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Kriya now. Did anybody want to share anything else here? Okay, very good. So this Kriya is very intense. It's going to... Whoops, where'd you guys go? Are you guys still with me? Oh, I X'd out of the wrong, sorry. It was just like something was covering that screen. So this Kriya is all about the lymph system. Are you guys familiar? I mean, I know that sounds really basic, but it's just, some people haven't thought about the lymph system. Are you guys pretty familiar with where the lymph nodes are and everything? Because I can get granular with it because that's, I suffered from having tumors in my lymph system. And so I wanted to study it to make sure I didn't get them again.
I know general like where like our main points are, but if there's like if there's anything that you have, or like there's any like parts of modules that specifically focus on like, because I know there's more lymphs than just like here, and I mean I know that there's like some like lymph here, but I know there's also like lymph in our ankles too, I think so, like in our armpits and stuff, but I'm interested to know more.
Okay. Yeah, and our groin, our breast, yeah. It's like such an extensive, it's like the myofascial system. It's so vast. I don't know why there's only like one doctor that talks about the lymphatic system. Do they talk about that in your quantum? I feel that that's a very important, isn't it important? Or like, why is there no material on it?
Yeah, I don't know why people don't talk about it. I feel like only like Pilates teachers and like yoga teachers talk about it.
Yeah, seriously. Because we're like, oh, that's how the brain gets clean so that we feel rejuvenated every single day. But it goes a lot deeper than that, where it's actually clearing out the waste of the brain, which is like, you can actually heal trauma through that.
I heard a doctor one time. I just wanted to say this so that like everybody can think about this while we're doing class. But he was an oncologist, and he said that the number one, I don't remember the word he used, but like under like the most accumulated lymph in cancer patients, like almost every cancer patient will have accumulation in the groin. So like there's a big concentration here, but there's a lot of, yeah, I don't know, it gets blocked easy. So just yeah, like I always, when I'm like patting and everything like that, because he's like, it's almost always synonymous, like every cancer patient he has some type of deficiency in the lymphatic system in the groin. So that one, yeah.
I've never heard that. The person who like administered my chemo did not know anything about the lymph system. I mean,
Oh
you know
gosh.
what I mean? Like they knew about what the chemo did, but when I would ask specific questions, this is back in 2013. It's like there was nothing. They told me to stay away from fast food, which was good advice, I guess. All right, y'all. So we're gonna start our Kriya now. Where's the music? Hello, music. What's good? You guys like my yoga music? If you guys have actually, I like Jen's suggestion. I put it in here. If you have a suggestion for yoga music, I'm always open. I listen to some. I like the chanting. I think it's very relaxing. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Let me just press play on here. Oh, it's on mute. That's why. All right. So you want to have enough room wherever you're at to like do legs up the wall for the last part of our Kriya. So we'll just go ahead and start in our seated posture. Try to arrange the light so that it's not like so blurry. I think it's too bright. Might turn it off. There. So take a deep inhalation here. Deep exhalation. We'll start with Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to those who came before me. My inner creative teacher here now, and those who are magnetized by my energy field. So inhale. Ha hum. Inhale. Ha hum namo Gurudev namo. Last one. Inhale. Ha hum. And then exhale, just bring them down and make the sound. Audible exhale. So inhale. This helps to relax the lymph in the neck. And exhale. 2 more like this. Inhale. Last one. Go ahead and take the Sufi grind over toward the right. If you'd rather take neck rolls here, this is going to start to stimulate the cervical lymph nodes. So you can sit all the way up tall and roll the neck from left ear to left shoulder, right ear to right shoulder, or you could take the Sufi grinds. It's really the yogi's choice here. Take deep Ujjayi breaths, expanding the belly on the inhale and pressing the belly button back on the exhale. Last breath here. Very good. Just go ahead and take this right palm toward the left ear and then push this chin 45 degrees up and the right ear toward the right shoulder. If you want to take your oil and kind of like rub your oil on your hands, I'm pretty oily right now. You're just going to take the fingertips and go right where the jowl and the face meet. And this is a meridian point, a node. You're just going down very slow and really light pressure on the fingertips, down the sternocleidomastoid to the K27 point. So the K27 point is right underneath the collarbone. Now you're just going to take the fingertips, spread the fingertips right underneath the collarbone, and you're just kind of pulling. It's a little bit more difficult if you're wearing a t-shirt or something. So if you want to take the t-shirt off or pull the t-shirt, you can do that too. But you're just, it's a slight pull here at the bottom as you're pressing the ear toward the right shoulder. Three more deep Ujjayi breath here. And then just release the bind after that third breath. You can roll out the wrists. Take a deep inhalation, raise the palms above the head. And then exhale. 2 more. This left palm is going to go over toward the right ear, and then this left ear goes toward the left shoulder. The right palm is going to start at that divot between the jowl and the neck, and then you're just making your way down the neck. Little self-massage here on the main lymph nodes of the neck. There's a lot going on in this area as it pertains to the lymph. Pretty much all of the teeth, the gums drain down toward this lymph, which is why that oil pulling, you're just going to take that point, K27 point, right underneath the collarbone now. The oil pulling really helps because it kills the bacteria and also pulls it out so that it's not going into the lymph. So So you can spread the fingertips here, take a deep inhalation, and then start with those slight pulls toward the outer edge of the shoulder. Inhale, you bring it back in toward that K27 point, and then exhale, a little pull with the fingertips. Whew. Last 3 breaths here, yogis. Awesome job. Go ahead and bring the palms down for the shoulder shrugs. Take a deep inhalation. Crunch, 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 and then exhale. Drop the shoulders down. You're paying attention to that. Is it the bicep right next to the axillary nodes? You're kind of doing that little thud. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Four more of these, yogis. So, we've been practicing together for a while. You guys are obviously very in tune to your holistic health. That's very obvious with some of y'all answers today. But just keep in mind that some of your students are not as in touch with those modalities. And so anything that, kind of sticks out to you, remember that some folk, like it's me today, I was enlightened to my castor oil habit, had no idea it was doing that many good things, so that's amazing. Very good. Breath of fire now. And also we're going to go for a little bit longer in this breath of fire. So you want to be very aware of where you're at. And just know that we've built up to this level of time. And it might feel like longer to you, and it might feel like the same thing. But you're pulling that belly button back, Hara Chakra. And we're cleansing out these lymph nodes on the sides of the neck, draining down toward the side of the breast, the armpit. We also have some lymph nodes in our gut that we're going to tap into today. So here we get the axillary nodes as well as the thoracic duct. Thoracic duct is mainly that middle of the back up toward the nape of the neck, toward the occiput ridge of the head. Work through that resistance in the shoulders if it's coming up. Work through that lactic acid. We have 1 more minute left. Awesome job, yogis. Inhale. Exhale. Feel free to roll through the shoulders here. Roll through the shoulders. Deep Ujjayi breath. Last breath. Awesome job. Go ahead and make your way forward. We'll start with the toes together, and you're just gonna sit the hips slightly back. You can keep the palms toward the earth for support. This is a very intense Kriya for quite some time. So this is for the groin. The hip movement is gonna help awaken the Kundalini as well. So on the exhales, you're just releasing it back to neutral. There's no like protruding, there's no twerk like this. It's just neutral down like this. And on the inhale, on the exhale, that's on the inhale. On the exhale, you're squeezing the pubic bone in the belly button. So we're gonna do a breath of fire with this little inhale, exhale, pelvic tilt forward. So take a deep inhalation here, deep exhalation. Very good, pelvic tilt, breath of fire. I don't even think you can see mine moving here, so it's a really small micro movement. And you're hovering over the heels, so there's no rest there, you're hovering over the heels. You can take a Sufi grind variation for the last 2 minutes. So I'm gonna stay like this and do my hips in a circle like this, and then, or you could do a tight circle like this, or you could take the hips big like this. It's really up to you. It's the yogi's choice. I'm gonna do the smaller circle like this. We're still in a breath of fire here. Lock Mula Bandha and really send the energy up here. Clockwise, you're calling in energy with the spiral. Counterclockwise, you're releasing energy. And feel free to switch it up as you see fit for the last minute here. Relax the jaw. Awesome job, yogis. Go ahead and shift back down to your seat. You can spread through the legs like this. You can keep them together like this. We're going to take the arms into the 60 degrees, and we'll start with Ego Eradicator for the first minute, and then we'll move into the Kriya, which is the fingers spread like this. You could have them out, or you could have them facing inward. It's really up to you. However, like when you do it inward like this, you're building energy up. When you do it out, you're releasing energy out. So move with intention, whatever feels good to you. We'll do breath of fire, Ego Eradicator first like this, and then we'll open it up and then do the arm flutter like this. It's about like 45 degrees. Take a deep inhalation here. Deep exhalation, breath of fire. So with this breath of fire, with the arms up, you're really getting into the gut lymph nodes. You're pressing the belly button back. We're really pressing back as much as we can. If you're not on your cycle, you're locking Mula Bandha and you're sending that energy up, releasing the jaw. As you guys know, I mean, you guys are very, very advanced. So I mean, as far as the rhomboid crystals of the pineal gland, all of that piezoelectric energy of the teeth and of the pineal gland, you know, we're going to really get into that. You know that when you apply pressure to a crystal, it creates electricity. So your electromagnetic field starts to awaken and ionize that cerebral spinal fluid. So tomorrow's we're going to really be getting into the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and all of those things that really make us an electromagnetic being that's of conscious awakening here. Very good. Go ahead and open up the palms. Take a deep breath in. Arm flutter like this. Very intense work with that thoracic duct. So really be aware of the center of the spine and how much you're holding the body up here. This is such a beautiful way to really allow the Kundalini to awaken, or the dormant energy that exists in your third ventricle, in the brain, that's trickling down the spinal cord right now as we're doing this. Starts to awaken with that breath. And on a physiological level, you're cleansing out, increasing the amount of nitric oxide, allowing the lymph to move on its own. Through these pumps, we're actually manually pumping the lymph. Awesome job, yogis. Go ahead and bring it down. We'll come into that cat-cow. Whew, I'm sweating. In this cat-cow, you're just taking the tailbone up, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, and then rounding the spine. Ujjayi breath. So you want to pay attention to the center of the shoulders, where our gateway of emotion is for the pericardium line, because that's what we're going to work with for this next Kriya. But just stay present here now for the cat-cow. Very good. 2 more breaths like this. Now the head is going to go neutral in line with the spine. And then you're going to pull the shoulders up on the inhale, and on the exhale, you're just going to drop the shoulders down. This is going to get the lymph nodes right here to drain. And in the position we're in, everything is draining down toward the earth. So inhale, exhale. We'll do about a streak of breath here, where you're squeezing the base of the pelvic floor, working with that abdominal. Oh, this feels so good. This is really so healing for that thoracic duct. The thoracic duct is important in lymph work because a lot of our stuff gets stuck there, and it can become that dowager's hump. Like if you've ever seen kind of older ladies have a hump right at the top of their neck. That's a mix of lactic acid, their tissues, and the formation of the energy getting stuck there. Right before the path of consciousness, right before the path of Shiva. So, this exercise in and of itself helps to prevent that. Really works through all of that stuff that's in that gateway of emotion, according to the Chinese medicine doctors and the yogis. Very good. Breath of fire now. Only moving the shoulders, protruding up through the shoulders and then dropping down through the center of the back. It's like the opposite of what you would do in a chaturanga. 30 more seconds, yogis. Awesome job. Go ahead and bring it to neutral, pull the belly button in, and then you're just gonna squeeze the belly button toward the spine, encircle the belly button toward the spine. It prepares for Nali Kriya. You're squeezing. You shouldn't be able to talk. Like, I'm not actually doing it right now because I'm talking. But once I stop talking, I'm going to squeeze this belly button back. And I'm pulling as hard as I possibly can. And I'm circling around this tightened Hara Chakra lock. Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha fuse to go in and out. Squeeze Mula Bandha. You're circling through the belly with a lock. Very good. Now you're going to release the lock. Release the belly, and then just circle through the belly. Let the belly release. There's no lock, no pulling toward the spine. 3 more breaths. Awesome job, yogis. Go ahead and lift up onto those knees for the camel pumps. So, I think one of you did this in the last one. We're going to press the hips forward. This really gets those groin groin lymph moving. So you press the chest out. The palms can stay here, or they could be at the heels if you really want to get that full extension. It's not necessary for this though. So on the inhale, you're lifting, and then on the exhale, you're bringing the chin in, rounding the top of the back. So inhale. Notice the middle of the spine, top of the spine. Exhale. Chin first, roll. Inhale. Exhale. We're creating this pump. Turn my red light back on. You guys keep going with this. I don't know why this thing turned off. I really love the red light with the lymph flow. It's just so helpful. Five more here. Last one. Go ahead and bring the palms down, curl the toes under, lift the hips up here for Adho Mukha Svanasana. Oh, feel free to walk it out. Take the belly, draw a circle with the belly. We're going to get all the lymph nodes in the gut here. So the belly circle with the belly button. Now switch it to the hips. Squeeze the low belly and circle through the low belly. Deep inhalations and exhalations. We don't typically stay in this for too long, but when the intent is for the lymph, we really want to get the groin, the sacrum, the low belly, the gut, and squeezing Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha in this position with the circle really allows for that cleansing. Last breath here, yogis. Bring it down, Anahatasana. Go ahead and take the palms forward, drop the chin. You can drop the third eye too if you want. If that feels better, you can tent the palms. You just really get the sides here. You get the whole shoulder girdle. Breathe big here. 4 more deep breaths. Very good. Go ahead and walk the palms back. You'll just find your way to a seat. We're going to move into the traditional Kriya for the glandular system. Whew, let's just take a rest here. Go ahead and lay it all the way back. The knees can be up. You're going to take the fingertips, if you've got the castor oil or whatever oil you use, maybe even the black seed oil. I don't know if you rub it on your belly, but you're just going to take it over toward the right first and go up that ascending colon, and then go across where the liver is, and then down that descending colon. So in this one, we're really focusing on the master hormone control center, which is the pituitary gland. We really get it in our beginning sequence of Om Namo Gurudev Namo. The Om really gets that pituitary. And so we'll revisit the lymph at the end of this. But just take 3 more breaths. Last one. Extend the legs when you're ready. If you want to bring a block, where did my block go? If you want to bring a block underneath the feet, it would look like this. If you would rather just lift the legs, you can. It's really the yogi's choice. I'm going to keep it rested here and then pull down through the belly. Lift the shoulders off of the earth. Bring the palms next to you. Take a deep inhalation here. A deep exhalation. Drishti is going to be toward the navel, toward the tips of the toes. Breath of fire here. If you need to support the neck, you can bring the palm to the occiput. But the pituitary, pineal, thyroid, adrenals, they all control our hormone production and our emotional energy levels. Sorry, it's hard to do it and like think about what I'm saying here, but that tip of the tongue is going to be in between that hard palate and the soft palate as much as possible. "15 more seconds. Awesome job, yogis. Go ahead and bring it in, rest. The knees can be toward the belly. Feel free to take it into a big circle around that sacrum. When you're ready, the left leg's gonna lift, and you can roll through the ankle. You're gonna bring the right knee in toward the belly. You can point or flex through the ball of the foot or the toes, whatever feels good, or you can even flex them back. As you're bringing in this right leg. Bring the forehead toward the knee. Take a deep inhalation here, root down through the back, the center of the back. And then the exhalation, you're bringing this left leg down, so it just comes down straight, and then inhaling back. Okay, so take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Very good. Breath of fire like this. This is for our adrenals. We're into that Kriya for the glandular system now. We cleared our lymph, so we're going to delve into those adrenals, balance them out. This is great for the kidney meridian line. Great if you feel burned out, if you feel like, kind of like frayed, low on energy. This is so great to restore the battery, restore the body battery. Very good. Pause, take a deep inhalation here. Rest the head. On the exhale, bring the head back up. Breath of fire, this leg stays right here like this. Awesome job. Go ahead and release it down. You can take happy baby, roll it out. All of the glands benefit from this. On the exhale, this left knee is going to come in. The right leg sticks out. You can point or flex through the toe again. Same thing here. If you need to take the rest, just keep the spine toward the earth and the head down. If you want to take that level of intensity, squeeze, take a deep inhale, deep exhale, breath of fire, only 30 seconds in this. Awesome job. Take a deep breath in, keep that right leg up. You can rest through the back of the head if you want. On the exhale, feel free to lift the shoulders off of the earth. Breath of fire. Go ahead and release it down. Roll it out side to side. This is for that stomach lymph and the adrenals. You're taking both knees in. And then the forehead comes toward the knees, point or flex through the toes, take a deep inhalation, and you can lock the interlacing fingers together. Deep exhalation, breath of fire. So it's a little harder to find the breath here. Really squeeze the belly button back. This is the best thing you can really do for your gut if you have constipation, IBS, or if you suffer from Crohn's, depending on where you're at in the flare-ups. If you suffer from colitis, things of that nature, this is so helpful. 15 more seconds. Nice job, yogis. Release. That one's a little intense. Roll over toward the left, and then make it so that the forearms are toward the earth. You're in a mini cobra, and you take a half frog. So this right knee goes toward that right elbow. Take a deep inhalation here. Walk the palms underneath the shoulder. If this is not very comfortable for you, or like it doesn't feel right for the wrists, you can drop onto the forearms. This is to open the red conception vessel and all of those lymph nodes in the center of the body and through the groin. We're going to do a breath of fire again. If you need to recover, it's okay to sit this one out. You know, it's a lot of breath of fire in a row, so take a deep inhalation here. Deep exhalation. Breath of fire. Awesome job. Go ahead and bring it down. This time you can be onto the palms, so it's like a chaturanga. Hug the elbows in. And then on the inhales, you're taking a deep breath in. This is Ujjayi. And then on the exhales, you're lowering down. So those elbows still hug in, lower toward the earth. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This is getting the ovaries and the adrenals. Very good. Go ahead and rest in this posture. Half frog. The forearms come parallel toward the top of the mat. Rest the forehead toward the earth. Really feel the breath through the belly. Keep the bandhas engaged, keep the bandhas locked, keep the energy in the body, and breathe very deeply, Ujjayi breath. Three more deep breaths here. Awesome job, yogis. Go ahead and come up onto the forearms. We're taking frog posture now. So you're just gonna bend through this left knee, full frog. Stick the heels out wider than the hips. Bring the hips in line with the knees. And then you can take the knees as wide as they can go without hurting yourself. And then on the exhale, feel free to take the chest toward the earth. Lock Mula Bandha here. If this is too much for the body, you can take the toes in for some relief while it still opens up the lymph in the groin. Still allowing the groin lymph to flow. If you need extra padding, you can always curl the sides of the mat up underneath the knees, or take a blanket underneath the knees. This posture is, I would say, like, not accessible for everybody. But it's very helpful for clearing that lymph in the lower body. Longest minute of life, almost there. Awesome job, yogis. Take one more breath. Go ahead and bring the toes together. The hips come back, child's posture. So you can keep the knees wider than the hips. Bow the head forward. Just let the spine take its natural shape. Whew. I am tired. One last breath here. You're going to come up into that half frog on the other side, so that left knee toward the left wrist, and move the right leg back. The heel is outside of the hip. Take a deep inhalation here for that cobra posture. If you want to take this onto the forearms, you can. You're breathing from the pubic bone toward the lower lip. Mentally prepare for that breath of fire here. 4 more large inhale and exhale. Last one. Awesome job. Go ahead and lower it down. Hug those elbows in. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower. Breath of fire. Modification is to have those shoulders right over those elbows, and you're just going to pulsate through right in between the shoulder blades like we did before. Awesome job, yogis. Take a deep inhalation here. Rest on the exhale, half frog. one more deep breath here. Very good. Go ahead and bring the palms underneath the shoulders. Just slowly roll up. You can roll onto that left hip and find a seat. You can take Ardha Padmasana or Padmasana. Take a deep inhalation here. Deep exhalation. You're going to cross the wrists and go right underneath that collarbone and just do a slight tap with the fingertips. Ujjayi breath. Then they're going to become little fists. So it starts with a tap. You can stay here. If you are ready, you're going to go into little fists with a little more thud underneath that collarbone like this. And then you're going to take the neurolymphatic spleen point right underneath the rib cage on either side and do a little tap like this. Deep breaths here. Last breath. Take it toward the chest. Right in between the breasts. You can go a little bit above. But you're working to tap that thymus gland. You really want to get right where that heart center is. As we know, the hidden chakras, the higher heart right up here, taps directly into that higher heart center. Our intuitive knowingness on a heart level. The right palm's going to work first. You can lift this left palm and put it above your head, and it's just going to go right underneath that left breast. So if this is like too harsh, you can just take the fingertips and just tap really gently. I just have my hand here, for lack of a better place to put it. If it feels more comfortable on your knee or like out like this, you could do it like that too. One more breath. Other side, so the right palm over the head, left palm is going to create little fists toward that right underneath the breast and the side of the body. When you're ready, you're going to slowly do this with the belly. So this is a very soft area, very sensitive area. So you're just going to take maybe the fingertips or the two fists if it feels okay. And you're just going to go on either side of where the liver is. Sit real tall, either side of where the liver is, near the spleen, just tapping into the small intestine, the top of the large intestine. We learned a lot of the points where we don't have to go directly on the stomach to get into the stomach line. I think Phoenix did that one, where we really focused on the stomach line in the low part of the body and how it relieves the stomach in general. Now you're going to do something real weird. You're just going to take a deep inhale, take an exhale, put the finger in the belly button and press the belly button back. Hold the belly button back for this inhale and exhale. It feels weird to inhale with the belly button back as per we do the yoga breaths. But you're locking Mula Bandha and then you're just going to take the belly and draw a circle around the belly. This is the best way to prepare for Nali Kriya. Well, you can't really see. That's not really showing anything. But Nali Kriya is when we take the abdominal stomach, the stomach organ and the abdominals, and we move the stomach around viscerally to cleanse around the stomach area and the large large intestines and the small intestine. Feel free to go the other way. Having a hard time talking during this one, but you're squeezing it in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. It's a little weird. It does feel a little intense. But just imagine that belly button toward the spine. Squeezing as far back as possible. Squeeze. Just 15 more seconds in this squeeze. That belly button, that finger should feel like a suction. Even if you're an innie, or I'm sorry, an outie, it should still feel like a suction. Very good. Go ahead and release it. Take a deep inhalation. Lift the chest, open up the throat. Deep exhalation around the spine. So inhale. Exhale. With this, you're going to inhale, press the chest, and then exhale, round the shoulders. Shoulders are coming with you on this. Because this is specifically for the lymph, like obviously with our spinal flex, we're really more focused on the spine. But in this Kriya, we're focusing on the lymph and clearing it out. Awesome job, yogis. Last part of the Kriya. You're just going to take the thumbs. This is for the pituitary hormone control center. Taking the thumbs onto the temples. The other fingers are up in the air like antenna. You could do them out like that if you want, but like they just go straight up. So this one's really like sort of feels strange when you're doing it, but it's the sound ha, but it's H-A-R. But the R is going to the top of the roof of the mouth on purpose to hit the upper roof palate. So take a deep inhalation here. It's going to sound like this. Ha, 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 ha. So you see my belly button is going in and out. And we already prepped for this. We did the breath of fire. We did the belly button exercises. So here, you're pressing the belly button back, making that sound with the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth on the R. So it's ha, 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 ha. I think one of you just said this earlier. From the belly button to the roof of the mouth is the pathway for ha. So ha, that actual bija sound, the primordial seed sound, is clearing the obstacles toward our inner abundance. This is the prosperity Kriya. And so it's not just prosperity in terms of wealth and material abundance, but it's your inner somatic wealth, the mind-body connection that we've cultivated with all of these practices. Ha, 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 ha. Think about what you're doing here. The low chakras are squeezing in. You're clearing out everything in the lower vibrational energy field. That ha is lifting up to the heart, up to the crown of the head, to make way for those ideas, for those insights, and really allowing those inner resources and all of the parts of the brain that might be dormant and not awakened to the resources that are within. This will help awaken it, and then you'll see the outer resources begin to manifest very quickly. This helps us become magnetic. Ha, 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 Last 15 seconds. Awesome job, yogis. Go ahead and release it. Take a deep inhalation here. Deep exhalation. Vertebrae by vertebrae, you're just going to bring the spine down. The ankles are going to go underneath the knees. Palms can go above the head, or they can be next to the hips. It's the yogi's choice. Take a deep inhalation here. On the exhale, all of the weight into the shoulders. Lift the pelvis up toward the sky. And of course, this is best for the lymph in the groin. So on the exhale, you're going to lower 2 inches off of the earth. Take a deep inhalation, Lakmalabaka. Exhale, drop. This is considered a trauma release exercise for the hips and the somatic body in general, but particularly for our groin lymph system. Awesome job today, yogis. Go ahead and release it down. Press the back of the knees. Take it in toward the chest. Roll it out. Give the back of the knees a massage. Stomach meridian line massage. This right thigh is going to cross over the left, and then you're going to drop the knees over toward the left and take that nice stretch here. Really allow the knees to fall toward the mat. There are myriad ways that we can really drain that lymph. This was a very traditional Kriya practice. Feel free to take the knees up toward the ceiling. This left thigh is going to cross over the right. But for example, if you're like in a lunge or something, or a twist, if you find that neurolymphatic spleen point underneath the rib and press on it, that can really help to clear the entire spleen meridian line, which is associated with the lymph. Center for the final rest. Most important part. Left leg toward the left side, the right leg toward the right. Take a deep inhalation here. Exhale, relax. if you want to, for the last 2 minutes of our Savasana, move toward the wall and stick the legs up the wall. This is really helpful for being able to drain the lymph. I meant to do this before, but I was excited to get into the rest. So you would put your blanket or your bolster underneath the low back, and so that there's a little tilt where the low back is, and just keep legs up the wall just like this. If you want to stay in this position, you can. If you want to come out of it and meet me in a seated position toward the top of the mat, we're going to come out of our legs up the wall position and slowly awaken the body to be able to sit up. To close out our practice this evening, went a little over time today. We'll take a deep inhalation here. Deep exhalation. I like to end all of our classes with a round of Om. Feel free to join. Take a deep inhale. Satnam Yogis, truth is my identity is our truth. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.
Thank you, Rhea.
Yeah, if y'all wanted to demonstrate tomorrow, there's no pressure to do that, as I wrote in my email. But just let me know if you are not going to. You know, you want to pick a gland. That sounds so weird. But like you want to pick a gland to focus on. 15 to 30 minutes, whatever you want to do. just let me know if you're not going to do it so I can account for time, and then I'll fill the time, because we'll just get into the next. Like, this subject is very simple. It's like living with the sunrise and the sunset. And then CSF is the next subject. Oh, your book launch. Heck yeah. Awesome, Cintashay. Good luck with that. Are you still there? It's just a white light. You dissolved.
I don't even know what's happening. Like, whatever. But I'm here. Like, I don't even know what it's doing, but I'm here. That was great. Thank you, friends.
Yes, the lymph system is clear. All right, y'all. Great practicing with you all. We will touch base tomorrow.
Love you all.
Love you all.